Perspective. Perspective. Not to be confused with perception. Perspective. Here's what I mean. Are you in a position where you are discouraged, sad, confused, mad at God? That's all right. It's not fun being there, but it's all right, especially if you're growing. Now, if you're not growing, if you're not expanding, if you're not making an effort, that's a bad place to be. If you are moving forward, if you are creating, if you are stepping into your calling, if you're not being lazy, you're still going to have those frustrating times. Maybe even more so. Because you're working. And it doesn't seem like anything's happening. Perspective. Perspective. Maybe in this video we can help realign your perspective. So, to put this in the framework that I think would help you understand better, is I tend to just be myself. Just be as real and raw and truthful and transparent, knowing that that's going to bring on haters and attackers, and in a lot of ways make me look like a fool. But it's perspective. It's perspective. Not to be confused with perception. That's a whole other issue. But I don't live in Perceptionville. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what people perceive about me. But I've got to make sure that my perspective is right. And so I'm just going to be real and transparent with you. There may come a time where everything I put out there is just clean, professional, good-looking backgrounds, no coats or towels hanging in the back. Might have my beard trimmed up a little bit. Might be in a suit and tie. But probably not. I'll have those videos, but I'll probably never be that way completely. So, framework. Me, my perspective. 50 years old. Divorced. Forsaken. Alone. Without any kind of consistent work. And homeless. Now, just to say that word homeless is going to trigger some of you into thinking, who is this jackwagon? He don't even have a home. Am I going to listen to him? Well, it's for that very reason that you probably ought to listen to me. But if that actually triggers you to leave, then leave. Because there's a purpose in all of it. It's about perspective. I'm fully aware that certain family members and friends looking at me and thinking he's the biggest fool I've ever seen. He's the biggest failure. He's failing more now than he ever has. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But see, I've got a secret that most people do not have. that most so-called Christians do not have. And that's between me and God. Once God has put something in you, and you know it with every fiber of your being, that you must do this thing no matter what. And we don't say that flippantly. You mean it when you say no matter what. And that comes with a price that most people are not willing to pay. And I'm going to tell you, there have been multiple times, I can even tell you sitting here right now, I know the work God has done in my life and how much He has changed me. But I'm not so grateful for it that I'm at that point where I can say, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I ain't there, because if I had to do it all over again, I'd change every flippin' stinking thing. If God came to me right now and asked if He wanted me to reverse everything and put me back where this whole thing started, let's try this a different way. But we don't have that luxury, praise Him. So we got to get our right perspective now. So I don't care what friends or family think. And I've had to battle this myself, because I look like a complete failure. I've got nothing to show. Well, now I'm going to show you some stuff. But I'm nowhere near what I ever wanted to be, hoped to be by the time I was this age. But God is fixing to turn my mourning into dancing. God is fixing to take my feet out of the miry clay and put my feet on a rock and establish my goings. My God is fixing to put me into the marketplace to be a force to be reckoned with. That scares the devil. I already scare the devil. There ain't no doubt about it, I scare the devil. But until He puts me out there, I have to do the work. I have to pay the price. And it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. But He's got me in a position where I cannot do anything about it if I'm going to rely on Him. Now here's where most people mess up. They mess up. I've done it before. Multiple times before I finally settled into this thing. A phrase I'm getting used to saying and loving. What you resist persists. What you embrace becomes grace. So here's what all kinds of people do. They resist it. They let human reasoning and wisdom and common sense, and there are places for that, but we get them confused because we're not really reading our Bibles. We're not really praying. We're not really making a daily sacrifice of our life. We are not meditating on the Scriptures. We're not giving our life to Christ. We're giving our life to the world, to our jobs, to our hobbies, to entertainment. And every once in a while we might read a scripture, we might read a devotional, but our life is not God. God might be a part of your life, but He is not your life, and you will always be frustrated. But even me, who for the most part, I've given my life to God. I'm living for Him. I love Him. I put up with things that most people will not put up with. I go through things. I say things to people. I speak the truth knowing I'm going to be hated. If He's going to use you, He's going to abuse you. If He wants to make a vessel for the finer out of your life, He's going to have to burn the dross out of that gold and out of that silver. You're going to have to go through the fire. You're going to have to be that lump of clay that he has to pound and beat multiple times and throw water on and punch and beat and spin and throw away and start over that piece of clay until he's got it where he wants it, and he's going to put it in the fire. Perspective. So I know he will finish this work that he has started in me. He will fulfill this vision that he has given me for the church world. In some ways, we're going to revolutionize this modern day Christianity. We are going to come on full force in business, community, and family. He has given me things, aspects, ideas, visions, pictures, plans. All we're lacking now is for me to become the man that he needs me to be in order to do that work he's already got ready for me. I got to keep doing the work. Got to keep trusting. Perspective. Being grateful for where you are. I'm not in a home. Don't like it. Don't have my own house. Don't like it. Don't have my land and little farm. I don't like it. But you know what I do have? I got a lot of time. And I don't get it right every day. Most of the time I don't. I mess up every day. But I have got to use this commodity of time to pursue what he has called me to do. Do the work, read, study, pray, watch videos, take a nap, have lunch, watch a little TV, whatever you got to do to keep yourself sane, but keep it to work and create a little bit every day to keep things in perspective. So as I sat down here tonight to make another video for my men's coaching program using biblical men as examples of masculinity, I'm going through Nehemiah. And I've done Nehemiah 4 times this week. So I got 4 outlines to initiate the Biblical Man's Program with Nehemiah. And so I had to go through my stuff. And I'm encouraging you to do this. This is why I'm going to do this tonight. Because if you are moving forward, if you are making progress, there should be tangible evidence of it. And if what you're doing doesn't really create a tangible asset, find a way to create a tangible asset, because it will encourage you to go back and look at it. Even if it's just a video journal of you telling yourself what you did that day, every day. And you look back at that in 2 months, and 3 months, 6 months, you've forgotten what you've done. And you watch those videos, it'll help you. So I had to pull some stuff out to organize. And the stuff that I've created it's all out in front of me again. And I just wanted to show it to you, just to help you keep things in perspective. This is just these are 2 coaching programs that I'm going through and taking notes on myself. Okay, stuff that I've paid for and going through the courses. Here's another video course I'm going through, coaching course. And everything I've done, I like to put things in book forms, and I'm going to sell books. And I'll be able to sell them just like this. It's a little longer process, but it's starting small. And if people want my books, they pre-order them, pay for them. I go to the local copy shop, get another one made, and send it. And I'll do that for so many times until I learn how to get things published in bulk form and have the money to get things published in bulk form. Put stuff on Amazon. I struggle with wanting to put stuff on Amazon, ebooks, just because I don't get all the money from that. But that's another story. But this book, I call this Masculinity, Memoirize Yourself to Manliness. All this is about a year's worth of poetry God has put on my life. I mean, he started like in April, so it's not been quite a year. I started feeling led, and when I'm stepping into his calling, this stuff just flowed. Put it in a book form. I've wrote 7 more poems since I put this book out. This helps me stay in perspective. Okay? You know, my prayers. Here's just a prayer journal book, volume 1. Prayer journal book, volume 2. These are just one of these apps I use that help me record my prayers. That's all these are. People may or may not want them, but it's something for me. I look at it. I see perspective. I see progress. It helps me. And I have no doubt there's men in this world that are going to get used to seeing me. They're going to trust me. They're going to want these books. Even in a rough draft. These are not even finalized copies. These are just rough draft copies. And people just, I want the real, raw, relevant, boom. Just real and raw. Unedited versions. I want to read about your prayers. I want to see your struggles. I want to see your poems. I want to see what you created in your dark times. I'm a preacher. I've been preaching for years. I took some of my latest sermons, outlines, just the outlines. All I did was copy the outlines, put them in book form. This is valuable, absolutely valuable for men who need help preaching. But it will also help you grow as a man. If you can learn to study the Bible and journal it out, outline it out, create messages from it, it will help you. Even if you never preach it, it'll help you. I thought I had one more. Yeah, I do. Then just my men's workbook. This is just rough copy stuff that I put in together for an initial thing to look at, just to be a workbook for men to work through. I got a lot of editing. I got to make a few more copies. I got to take some pages out, recopy, and do things to have a real workable workbook for men. And then this one I did 2 weeks ago. Just a simple devotional. Simple devotional. It'll help you. It'll help you. And it's helping me just looking at this stuff tonight to put things in perspective. And then stuff that I don't even have bound. Listen, this is not a bragging session. This is just get to work. Start creating something. Here's another folder of sermons. I can make 1 or 2 more books just out of that. Some more sermons. I got 2 of these. This is just basically my journal. This is just 4 or 5 months of journaling. Keep things in perspective. This is the stack I got together to put my men's workbook. The whole point was perspective. Perspective. Quit mully-grubbing about your situation. If you've given your life to God and you want to do what He wants you to do, then take what He gives you to get you to that point. Create things, look back at them in a few months. It'll help you. It'll help you give good perspective. And always think about like Joseph and Moses and all the waiting and suffering they went through. I hope this helps. If you like it, like and subscribe, whatever platform you see this on. Put comments, in. If you want more resources, if you want more coaching, say so in the comments. Send your emails. My email is chrishuffman513@gmail. CHRISHUFFMAN 513. My phone number is 970-697-0232. Just reach out if we can help you. We want to help you. But I also want to put out this content because this stuff will help you. It'll help you. Keep your eyes on him.